Hi guys. So just as I promised, here's a video that kind of recaps everything that would have been in the video call. A big shout out to Julian, who was our only attendee today, despite some technical difficulties. Thank you for trying to get on. This week, you should have been looking at Mathia about 20 minutes a day. Big thank you to those who've been working on that. I'll be changing some of your grades shortly if you've shown mastery in some standards that we've already assessed. There's also a worksheet available in Canvas. To submit, you're going to upload the completed worksheet into Canvas, or you can email me a picture of your work. So whether that's you were able to print it out and work on it or work on it on a separate piece of paper, please get it to me in some way, shape, or form by next week. So to talk about what we were looking at, what you're seeing in your worksheet, I do want to review a little bit about slope. So remember how slope is the same thing as if I said rate of change. Okay. And that is also the same thing as when we refer to that variable m in our equations. And slope is also remembered to be your rise over run, right? You're up and down, and then you're left to right. So some other things to remember about our slope. If I had a slope of 3, if I wanted to look at it in my rise over run format, we can change it to be a fraction 3 over 1. Since 3 is a whole number, and you can put any whole number over 1, and it's a fraction now. This means you would go up 3 and right 1. Because it's a positive slope, a positive 3, you're going to go positive directions. Vice versa, we could go down 3 and left 1. Okay? 2 positives make a positive, but also 2 negatives make a positive. Okay? So if you try and graph that out, you'll notice that it goes in the same direction and follows the same line as long as you're doing both of the same thing. If I had a fraction slope to begin with, it's already in my rise over run format, so we already see 1 up and 3 right. Okay, and same thing, since this is a positive slope, we could also see it as 1 down and 3 left. Okay, 2 positives or 2 negatives when you have a positive slope is totally fine. Okay. Last scenario, if I had a negative slope, I'm going to keep it as 1/3, but let's say I've got a negative 1/3 as my slope. That means I'm going to go down 1 and right 3. That's because we're going negative direction, positive. Okay. When I put 2 negatives or 2 positives next to each other, they're going to be a positive direction. So I need one and then the other. It works if I wanted to go, if I wanted to go up 1 and then left 3. Now I have a positive and then I have a negative direction. So that's what would make it look like a negative sloped line. Let's review the 3 different forms that we have. Remember your slope intercept. You've got your y equals mx plus b. you've got your standard, which is your ax plus by equals c. And then finally, your point slope, which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay. Key features to remember here. Let's write in orange. Okay. M is your slope. B is your y-intercept. And y-intercept meaning where it's going to cross your y-axis at that number b. Standard form, remember that a, b, and c are all whole numbers, and a is not negative. Okay. Lastly, your point slope, your x1 and y1, sorry, this is a point on the line where you would start by graphing. Your m is your slope, just like your slope-intercept version. And these are always negative if these are positive. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but since our original equation says y minus y1 and x minus x1, that means if our coordinates are negative, they would change to addition signs. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky there. All right. Now, if we were having our Zoom call, I probably would have gone over some problems. I will post the answer key onto Canvas for your worksheet. That way you can kind of make sure that you're getting the right concepts and checking your work, but not copying, please. And I will have office hours. So let's go back to my PowerPoint here. Don't forget that there are office hours Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'll be available in Zoom. The link is in the email. I'll also post it onto Canvas if you need that. To ask me any questions about the worksheet or about Mathia. And you can always email me as well, right here. Email me with your questions or email me with the work that you've completed. All right. Thank you. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions or you need any help.